Thank you for watching. After almost 2 years of making YouTube videos, I've come to the conclusion that I've never actually done a review video. I've seen review videos about this car pop up. This is the HPI Octane XL, and I thought, you know what, I will just join in on the fun and make my own. Let me take off the body, because the body is, I think, the most beat up part of the car and also the least interesting part of the car to look at so far. My body is completely trashed. That's not the fault of HPI, that's not something that has anything to do with quality or whatnot. It has everything to do with me slamming it into a pile of rocks in third gear. That's not something that will improve the quality or the looks of your truck. I did it. I was lucky. I escaped with a minor crack in the roof, some scuff marks over the front, nothing that a sticker could cover up. But then again, you know, I'm kind of tired looking at this body anyway. You can also see this really super nice burn mark on the underside of the shell. That's where I managed to fold it over the exhaust manifold, burning some plastic in the process, leaking it all over the exhaust manifold, but I think it gives the car a tiny bit of character. Now, first point that I would like to address is the color of the pipe. I had a lot of people asking me if I painted the pipe, if I gave it like a shade of copper. I did not. The pipe is black when you purchase the car. After you run it, and I mean properly run it, it will turn this well, kind of a peculiar shade of copper. So that's something you want to look at, I think, because only after your pipe has this particular color you can really claim that you have actually run the car. If it is still black and you're doing a review video on this truck, it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of like saying after you had your first French kiss that you lost your virginity. It's not really the real deal. This car being so new, being such a new platform with the 8-scale gasoline engine, you're of course in for a few surprises. Some people may call it nasty surprises. I don't think they're nasty surprises at all. I have lost my patience a few times with this truck trying to figure out what the issues were. You haven't seen that on camera, but it did in fact happen. But in a way, you know, that's fun. It's part of the hobby. If you don't like to pioneer a tiny bit, you shouldn't buy any new products. Then you should just buy something that's been out for a year or two, something that's proven, that's durable, something that's easy, something you can find a ton of answers for on forums. This car, not it. Simple as that. I bought it on day one. I was one of the first ones to have this car. My manual, of course, wasn't fully up to date, so my needle settings were way off compared to what it was in the update. Due to that, I had serious problems getting this thing to run right, and to top it off, I had some spark plug issues. Now, mind you, these are all issues that have been fixed in the meantime. The more people buy an Octane, the more info is out. The more people, also like myself, make videos about it, solve things, the more info you will have to troubleshoot, or the more running tips you will have, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't make it a bad truck, it just makes it something that's very new. So I don't call myself a guinea pig, because some people say, yeah, we've been guinea pigs, you know, people who bought the truck when it first came out. I don't feel like I've been a guinea pig. I feel like I've been a bit of a pioneer. I've helped in the final stage of development, which is customer feedback. Looking at the truck, this is my first monster truck. I've never owned an 8-scale before. I've never owned a monster truck before, but I love it. I can honestly say that I'm hooked. I spent about 20 tanks braking in this engine, getting it to run the way that I wanted it to run. Needed to get a bit of a feeling for the transmission as well. It has 3 gears. You can set them up a tiny bit differently, like I did in my Quarry Bash. Some people missed that, but in the description of the Quarry Bash you can actually see that the 3rd gear, I set that to engage a tiny bit later, just so we would climb the hills a bit better, and so we wouldn't get stuck when kicking into 3rd gear up on a steep climb. It's not as explosive as a nitro version. It's not as controllable in the air as a flux, but it is what I wanted it to be, and that's a true monster truck. It has the grunt, it is obnoxious, it's very loud, it's gas powered, and once you have it set correct and broken in correct, you can have a ton of fun with it at relatively low cost, at least compared to nitro, and with a bit less spending time charging batteries, stuff like that. I've run the car completely bone stock, haven't even put outerwears on it, I haven't even changed out the battery packs for lipos. We're still running the stock servos. I've read about a few people having problems with stock servos. I haven't run into any yet. Could be that I'm lucky, it could be that you're unlucky. But based on my opinion, this is put together very well. Gas tank gives you about 20 minutes of runtime. That's also what HPI has promised. I do, however, recommend that if you can, just top it off. If it does, I don't know, come back to you and you see that it's low, just top it off. Upon heavy braking, the fuel can kind of slosh forward. You can pull in some air, and you can have some erratic engine revving because of that. Another thing you want to consider is this is such a sensitive system in a way when it comes to fuel air mixtures, that when you start it, make sure the wheels are off the ground, otherwise it will take off on you until you have actually warmed up the engine a tiny bit, which is well, usually 2 blips off the throttle and it's warm. A-arms, plastics, the shocks, this thing to me it handles like a dream. At first I was a tiny bit apprehensive seeing non-aluminium shocks on the thing, thinking that it might have been a good idea if they had put in some aluminium shocks. After running it, I can honestly tell you that this thing, especially for its weight, because it's so much heavier than a nitro or an electric Savage, this thing really handles like a dream. In a really gnarly corner, just when you think that it's going to topple over, it has so much more go. It can lean so extremely far in corners, and then the warning that it will topple over is very short. So that's something that you need to consider when driving the car. It is super stable, but if it does flip over, if you do go over the edge of what it can do and cannot do, it won't give you any warning whatsoever. It will just flip on you like, well, kind of like a true monster truck. So I liked it. Brakes extremely well. 3 brake discs. I think that's stoppies. I mean, there's nothing there to improve. Overall, I would say there's not a whole lot of stuff that you can improve on this car. I've seen a lot of people who max out their Savages completely, putting everything aluminium on their aluminium A-arms. The stock A-arms, they're really strong. Aluminium bumpers, stuff like that. I think this being a monster truck, you don't want that. You want it to be a tiny bit flexible. You want it to have some give in case you have a nasty accident with it, because trust me, you will have them. You will have accidents like the body crusher that I had, and in those cases you want really the A-arms especially, because they take most impact. If you have like a nasty endo or something, you want that to be plastic. Otherwise you will be looking at a whole lot of cost. So is there anything that I see on here that I would improve? No, not directly. Perhaps the looks, perhaps the tires. They're not the grippiest tires, they're big, they're monster trucky. But I think that especially in the event of the Quarry Bash, I could have had something with a bit more, well, perhaps width to it. So who knows. You will see an upgrade series on this truck. And it will be more of a visual upgrade than anything else, because I'm perfectly happy with the way it runs. I will be replacing servos as they burn out. I will perhaps toss in a lipo, but for now everything on this truck finally, you could say, performs as it should. But again, that's not due to us hobbyists being made into guinea pigs. That's all due to the fact that together we figure it out. I want to applaud HPI. Again, I'm not sponsored, so keep that in mind, but I want to applaud HPI for in times like these, because these are tough times, you know, financial crisis everywhere, but they still have the balls to put something like this out. That's something that I can only admire, and I hope you will agree with me on that. It's not an easy decision to launch something that's so pioneering, that's so new, to drop that on the market in times like these, yet they did. And also make sure that despite maybe some initial negative feedback that you've seen about this car, that you give it a chance, because it deserves it, I think, more than. I believe that what you're looking at over here is the future of monster trucking. It's not without any reason that Losi has also released the competitor, the LST XXL2, if I got that correct, because it was a really long name. And in case you wonder, no, I don't have one on pre-order. I also have a limited budget. This car was my car of choice, my weapon of choice, 15 cc's versus 5 point something. For me the choice wasn't too hard, because in case of monster trucking there's no substitute for cubic inches. All this being said, visual upgrade coming up really soon. Some new shoes, some new rims, some new paint. And other than that, I'm happy with this vehicle. I hope you found this video a tiny bit helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, to which I will reply. I've been on a 3-week holiday. That also explains the ridiculous tan. But I've been on a 3-week holiday, so I haven't been able to get back to each and every comment in the past few weeks on the videos. But in this case I will do so. If you have any comments or any questions about the Octane, leave me a comment in the box below. I will try to get back to you as soon as I have some time, because my kids also have a holiday. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and I hope to see you around. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.